Let me know if you're surprised to see me here. But hello, welcome. If this is your first time here on a Sunday, we do some crafting, and I'm in the middle of making one of the Maker's subscription boxes. It's going to be a it actually usually at this stage, when we're through a subscription box, they usually look a lot less like what they're supposed to look like. So I'm working on a Maker's monthly subscription box, not sponsored or anything. I buy these so we can all felt along together if we wish, or just sit back and chat on a Sunday. But this is where we've got to with the fox, and actually, I've been sitting looking at this for 2 weeks, and the back legs are annoying me. So before we get into anything else, before I even know if I'm actually live, let me know in the chat if I'm live and this is all working before I start destroying him. But I figured out, I'll show you. I figured I don't like, I think the back legs are just a little bit too short, which is entirely my fault. So the thinking, I think that I like the length of his back legs to here, kind of, but I want to add the paws rather than these be his paws for his back legs. Does that make sense? So we made these 2 weeks ago, and it's a piece of wire and it's twisted all up the legs. And I am wondering, because my quote with needle felting is, if you don't like how it's looking, you're just not finished yet. So I'm thinking, if I shove his legs up, I should be able to get into that wire, unravel the wire, straighten it out, make his legs a bit longer. Hopefully. CJ, hello there. I am live. Christine, hello. Right. So this is the plan that I can shove up his legs a bit. Yep, that worked. Not wreck my fingers on wire. Right, I don't know if anyone can actually see this. So I had folded in the wire a bit extra because I didn't want it poking me. So does this wire, which is the, oh, I can't remember, it's from the Makers, and I actually really enjoyed working with it already so much for this project that I ordered myself a whole bunch of it. So we're testing to see, does this wire unravel to, if you make a mistake, if you do a Pam, does this wire unravel? And I hope Rose is also in the house. Hello there. I think this might work. I'm really determined because last month we did the hippo with a posable mouth, and I just wasn't 100% happy with my version. So I want to take my time and make sure that I'm happy with my fox, or as happy as I can be, or hopefully. Okay, so it does unravel. Let's try and do the second one before we figure out. The wire's never going to be quite as nice after it's unraveled, but that probably doesn't matter. We'll find out. So I'm just using the pliers actually to remove the bits of wool that are caught on this wire. Let's see if I can unravel it by hand. I think I can. So this is twisted, I think it's steel wire, something like that. But anyway, it's untwisted fairly nicely. So yes, I think it's much better to have the legs this length. Let's try and make them even. To have the legs the length pretty much that they were all the way down to the feet. I'm not even making sense to myself, don't worry. Right, so I'm straightening the legs out the best I can, trying to keep them even. I want the hock about here. The hock's like the heel of the animal. I was going to say the dog, it's a fox, not a dog. But so if I have the hock about there, and then yes, the paw can come in from about here and about here. Is that what I'm wanting? Is that what I'm wanting? I'm going to annoy myself so much if I don't get this how I want it. Because I really like foxes with kind of long legs, and then they're sort of quite light on their toes. They're not flat-footed, they're quite high up on their toes. That's not me saying that's what foxes are like. It's me saying that's the kind of foxes that I like to make. Right, roughly. To me, that's better. Can we all see that? That's a better shape of the leg for what I'm looking for. Now, the question is, can I make two even? Yeah, I think so. There we go. This one's slightly shorter. That's user error. That's Pam error. And just folding in the last bits of wire so he doesn't stick out too much. Okay, for me, I am much happier with the proportions of that. And again, I can bulk up underneath his paws and stuff as I want later on, but I'd made his body quite so long that I just felt that he needed more in the way of paws going on there. Right, let's get back into the tutorial. So where had we actually got to? We've added the head, yes. So I'm on to this page where we're making a snout. Where's all the colours I had for him? Here they are. Take a wad of the wool, and I want 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. Let's follow the instructions. Erica's in the house. Hello there. Yeah, guys. Has everybody made their? That's about right. Has everyone made their fox? Making their fox? Where are you at on the kits? Okay, that's 8 by 8. Fold in half. Roll the folded shape from. Okay, slightly tapered. Yeah, make the end of the nose a little bit tighter than the fluffy end. Find my felting needles. Yeah, has everyone made their fox? Are you thinking of making a fox? Have you got? This has been when I started making YouTube videos on needle felting, I asked what people wanted tutorials for, and 100% the biggest responses, the biggest things that people said was that they wanted tutorials for foxes, and I don't think I've done an actual tutorial for a fox. So it's actually surprising that everybody wanted to see how to needle felt a fox, but there's not like the masses of people wanting to watch the videos. Erica has her fox ready, didn't use a kit. Oh, Rose starting over, messed up the tail and the legs were too short. Yeah, well, I've done the tail entirely wrong because I didn't bring a needle in with me and the legs were too short. Yep. And Christine's halfway through working on it. Yep. Now, I am, as I said, I want to try and make this really work. So I like foxes with quite. So we're going to troubleshoot. This is me making mistakes and fixing them. This is not the kit. But I like foxes with even pointier snoots than that. So you can, with needle felting, make things littler. I can build this up again. If I've gone too far, I can build this up again. But if you don't like the look of something, cut it off. Let's just do a whole. I'm following the kit, but I'm also doing my own spin on it because I love foxes and I want to make the fox as good as I can. But as I say, most weeks, the other problem I have with this is because I don't read the tutorial first. I just dive straight in. If you read the tutorial and figure out what every bit's for, what it's supposed to look like and stuff, then you can do it much better justice. The tutorials are really good, but at the same time, I really want to make my fox my fox way. So I want to make him good, to make up for the hippo, who isn't awful, but he's a sort of beaver-faced hippo. Okay. And I see we're adding... Yeah, we're adding... Oh, there's even a head template. The makers are really good for doing this, including in your instructions, which comes in the kit. That's not bad. Head's actually slightly small, but we will build it up. I'll work on that instead. No, I'll do it just now. Let's do it just now. But yeah, it seems like everybody's making the fox at least, so that's good. Definitely want the head just ever so slightly bigger. I love seeing the pictures when you lie the poor foxes down, and when they've got wire in them, you can move their legs about, and it puts them in very undignified positions, but it does make it easier to felt bits. Okay, so I've added a bit more fluff on here. We will go all over it and make it better, but I just wanted slightly bigger. And we'll start adding the snout, the snoot in here so it can all be firmed up together. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's foxes. I like foxes a lot. There's lots of them around. Yeah, that's something I was going to ask. And as we're all from different places in your area, do you have foxes in your country where you live? I know a lot of you are in the UK, but we've got people from all over. And like, I was surprised when we were doing the robin kit, and I found out that in some countries you have robins, but they're not like our robins. So it's always interesting. So do you have foxes? Have you seen foxes? And are your foxes like our foxes? In Scotland we have, let's just say, the plain old standard red fox. There's nothing standard. They're lovely. They're very beautiful animals. And I have a very small park outside my house, and there are foxes there quite often. Yeah, when the nights start to draw in, when it comes winter, the young, that season's foxes tend to be out, and obviously feeling a bit lonely. So quite often when I'm out walking the dogs or something, there'll be foxes coming up and like trying to say hello, and yeah, so I have to keep the dogs on the lead at night. Right, I'm going to add a little more fluff to his neck because it's going to come, but because his head's a little bit wobbly, I want to add a little. I say I'm going to read ahead, and then I don't read ahead. Yeah, so quite often, it's usually September, October. I have to make sure that I keep the dogs on the lead, because the foxes will be like 6-8 foot away, just like jumping in front of us and trying to play and stuff. And none of my dogs have been particularly wanting to play with foxes. They've been wanting to chase the foxes, to say the least. What have we got? Rose, yes, in northeast USA you have the foxes. Leona, in Nova Scotia. Christine, central Canada, we have red foxes too. CJ, we have foxes in British Columbia, Canada, but I've seen more cougars than foxes. Oh, we don't get, well, we get them in human form, but not in animal form. Yeah, I've never seen a cougar. I think foxes and badgers are our biggest carnivores in the UK. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was going to say, but wild boars have been introduced in certain woodlands, which is a bit of a worry more than anything else. But yeah, foxes are about as big as it gets, and foxes are no very big. Right, I'm going to read ahead to this bit. Lay your fox on his back and bend the front legs to the side. Oh, yeah. Open up his legs and do what I just did, cover the neck. Add more bulk around the middle of the fox so it measures 3.5 centimeters. It kind of already does, but add a little more to his tummy as well. Just always looking at them, smoothing them out, deciding what needs added. And the more you cover and felt, the more firmer it'll get as well. He does look a little bit bonkers just now, but as this is a canine type shape, I definitely I feel a bit more confident that if I go wrong, I kind of know where to fix it. Oh, I don't have links, but I just thought I'd share what I've been doing this week. I finally got my next tutorial out for Creative Fabrica. It's not live yet, but I'm doing a tutorial of the sleeping corgi dogs that I made. It's a totally easy beginner tutorial, but I literally made this guy sitting in front of the tally, and then the people at Creative Fabrica, which is a artistic, it's like Skillshare for artists. It's got classes, it's got things you can buy, lots of things. But they contacted me and said, "Have you got another class ready for us?" I was like, I could do my corgi, so they were happy with that. So that's what I've been doing. Finally finished making my corgi tutorial, and I think I might be making a fairy next for them, because I've not made a fairy for ages. Or I might do a wall painting one. Haven't decided. Might have to get my printer working to do that though. All right, just trying to smooth out and firm up the body so he kind of holds himself. So anytime you're doing anything like this, even though I've only added like fibers here and here, I just try and felt all over him so that I can see how the whole sculpture's going. I'm trying to think what other different types of foxes there are. I know there's fennec foxes with the giant ears that I keep meaning to make a fennec fox because I think they're hilarious, and like Arctic foxes. And I have seen there was the Russian tame breeding fox program type thing, and now people do have the silver foxes as pets. I think they're adorable. I'm not sure how I feel about it, because the things that I've seen they do, although they're pets and they do seem quite friendly, at the same time they can't totally be kept in a house, and I'm never sure. Never sure. It's like cats and dogs have been domesticated for so long that they actively seek our company. I'm not sure about keeping animals that don't necessarily seek our company, but they're gorgeous and I can see why people would want them. And I haven't met any, so I'm judging without seeing them there. Oh, good. We're going to build up the foot a little bit. Take wisps of the brown, black. Yeah, so we're making a dark speckly colour for his feet. Bridget, you're in Australia, I believe. I might be making that up. You foxes, but quite like a large dog in light brown. I didn't realise your foxes were different. There we go. I'm glad I asked. I'm going to have to Google and see what your foxes are like now. So I'm just, anyone who's new, I'm just blending the colours by you take far apart at the side and gently pull, and that lets sort of some fibers from this side and some fibers from this side sort of pull across each other and kind of mix. I'm not tearing the fibers, I'm just letting them slide across each other. And this is going to make the foot colour. I'm going to try something. This might not work. So I'm assuming, yeah, I need some for the back and some for the front feet. So I'm just going to separate off a bit. Now I want to blend. I want the top to be more brown and the bottom to be more black. So you can do this with carding brushes easier. I've never done this by hand. So I'm taking some brown and putting it on top. And I'm taking some well, take some fox colour on top and some dark brown on the bottom, and I'm just gonna not twist or anything the fibres, just pull them across like that. So I will hopefully have a kind of blend in the middle. It'll be blendy, but there'll be more dark at the bottom and more brown at the top, if that makes sense to you all. I think that's kind of working. I'm just going to try and split that in two, which is not so easy because it would split that way easily, but not so easy this way. There we go, that's about even. Draft it out slightly and then give this a go. I can even, should I? So if I need to build up his back foot any, I can add some more of the dark, and if I need to build up his leg, I can add some more brown at the top. But yeah, we've got a bit of a blend going on. What's the more correct needle there? I've got both these needles are a 38 twist, but I just had to, my favorite needle was getting a bit old, so I've had to order in some new ones. So this is a newer version, which is slightly more stabby, or rather it's slightly less blunt. Bridget, that's the fox that lives near me in the city and the beach. Erica, what's the name of the cat on the t-shirt? I don't think she has a name. It was just, I was just bored on eBay and randomly shopping for myself. So I have no idea. It made me smile. She doesn't have a name, I don't think. Right, that blended out rather nicely. So it's going from dark to light quite seamlessly. I'm quite pleased with myself there. Let's see how well that works on the other foot. I've just spoke too soon, haven't I? But yeah, that you can use, you get carding brushes, or you can use dog slicker brushes to actually blend the fibers together just by gently brushing them one to the other, and then you could make a nice, really nice variegated color just by using the carding brush, well, the brushes. But this worked quite well doing it by hand, actually, just to get dark to light. And also, the more as you firm it up as you're stabbing it, you're going to blend some of these colors a little more. And I do, with the fox, I really do love how it goes from the dark, from the blacks to the browns. The blend just makes them look very foxy. Ginger, hello, good morning. Hoping everybody's holidays were happy. Yeah, happy Easter, everybody. I had a lovely, the weather has here in Scotland. It's been nice, and I got some long walks, some surprisingly long walks. Went up Loch Lomond, and a walk that I only found last year by dint of just going, why is there cars parked there? Searched on Google Maps and found a walk. So I went there. I went there last year, and then this year when I was going, I did the whole, I wonder what's through this really big hedge that doesn't look like you should be able to go through. So I climbed through a giant hedge, and I found an absolutely beautiful golf course, like really stunning, fancy, along the edge of Loch Lomond. So of course it's going to be beautiful. And I was walking, and very fancy, stately home for the golf course now. Okay, fancy. Went around the corner, a little ruined castle, beautiful little jetty, almost a little private island for the golf course. Really starting to feel I don't belong here. Nearly got run off the road by a Bentley coming flying up the road, and then as I was talking to my mum on the phone at the time, and there was a kind of footman, butlery type person at the door of the stately home thing, waiting to welcome people in. And I was kind of trying not to look at him, so I looked at one of the cars that was parking out the front, and the reg number, I don't know whose it is, but it was SC07, which I assume it's similar in other countries. Sort of the shorter the number plate, the more expensive they are. And SCO is clearly Scotland, so I was like, I wonder who that is. But they're either important or they think they are. And I was saying it to my mum, and she was just like, "Just get out of there. Just go to places that we're allowed to be at." I definitely did feel like I shouldn't have been there. Oh, Erica, holiday. What's that? Yeah, I know the feeling. That's why I decided last week just to get out and go for a walk. Not going anywhere, not doing anything special, but just making the day a bit different. And then possibly calling for takeout, because I've discovered on Just Eat that I can order ice cream sundaes delivered to my house. So that's a terrible thing. But yeah, just taking a break. Um, Ginger, is the fox freestanding or will it be in a scene? It is designed to be in a scene. Where's the picture? Oh, we can't see it on the picture. Let me. I'm trying to find the right pictures. But we do have grass and stuff to put him into a scene. So he should be. But we'll see how I feel. I just want to do him justice. Hopefully, not make a mess of him, which will involve a whole lot more felting. Right, we have to. It's suggesting to us, and I will be doing bulking up his back leg as well. He definitely needs a bit more thigh muscle. So I'm just taking a little wisp of the fox brown, taking it from his back down his leg. That's just adding some more muscle. But I want to keep the bottom. I like them with quite fine bottoms of their legs, so they look sort of dainty. We're not going realistic. We're going, I have a fox in my head. I would like to I would like to make it look like the kind of idea of the fox I have in my head. I suppose at least that's the good thing. I've seen enough foxes that I don't want to be. I don't need to be going looking for pictures of them. I know. Ginger, love that. No hen houses in the background. Ooh, we could do. Make a hen house scene. That sounds very cruel. Well, he could be making friends. Pick your nose up. He could be making friends with the hens, maybe, or getting these Easter eggs. A little bit late. Yeah, Bridget saying, "What's the cat on your t-shirt?" I don't know. It's just a really kind of bizarrely, creepily cute. I think it's creepy cute anyway. I know lots of people don't see creepy and cute as the same thing, but I do. So. I can add more to his hind legs if I feel I need, but I definitely am happier with them than I was half an hour ago, so that's good news. Yeah, they look much better. Needs a whole lot more felting. A whole lot. He looks really chunky now. But yeah, that's just because that's really, really lightly felted. So I'm assuming we're doing the same with the front paws. I'm assuming. I'm assuming. Where's the ladies to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm pretty sure we have to do all the legs. I just don't want to run ahead when I'm not supposed to. Yes, I see. He has the same kind of paws at the front, so we'll do the same kind of thing. So a little bit of random plastic that got into that. So a little bit more of the dark colour at the bottom, a little bit more of the light at the top, and blendy. Ginger, yes, Tim Burton-esque. Yes, I love Tim Burton. If you hadn't guessed by the number of videos I've made of Nightmare Before Christmas type stuff. And yeah, Bridget's Bridget's agreeing with the Burton-esque and creepy cute. Yay! Cool. Oh, I'm losing track of what I'm doing here. Right, I'm just gonna. There's a bit of orange coming in too much at the bottom. Try and make this even as I can. It probably would have been easier to do a blend for 1 foot at a time, just because of the amount of fiber. It's much easier to blend smaller amounts of fiber. This is not massively well blended, but as we felt it, it'll get blended too. And yes, repeat the last 5 steps on the front leg. I didn't notice that. Yes, so we're doing his paws and then going to build up his shoulder a little, because he is looking very, very skinny in at his shoulders. I definitely have to build that up a little bit. But the makers tell us to do this, so so it's good. I'm not going off piste here. Just nosing ahead. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to build up the body to make him look good. Yeah. Just building up the body and then going on to the ears and everything else. Cool. So let's take the time to get his body right and then see where we are with time, because next kit, I don't remember what the next kit is. Does anyone remember what kit's coming next? But that won't be here next week, so we can spend another week on getting Foxy really good. Or now, with all we've said, he's probably going to end up as a Tim Burton fox, isn't he? That's probably where I'm thinking the long spindly legs and everything, rather than what an actual fox looks like. I'm just in my head making a Tim Burton fox or something. Just want to get this felted down a bit. Oh, Rose, are we doing an owl next week? Excellent. Next month, not next week. We've got an owl. Fantastic. But yeah, we'll take the time and make the fox a good project. Now, Ginger, thinking about summer farmers market in my tiny town. So much stash to use, may as well sell something. Oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, hopefully that goes well for you. I've never done a farmers market. I barely remember when, because in my town, the farmers markets are like twice a month, but I always, I think it's one Sunday. It's a Sunday twice a month or something like that, but I always forget. But down Loch Lomond again, there's a really cool kind of crafty farmers market that I really should go along and see, but I never remember when it is. And then I sort of get a notification on Facebook that says it was yesterday. Thanks, that's handy. I seem to have put a bit much fluff on this leg, but it's okay. We'll felt it down and it'll be fine. So is anyone else planning on any fairs and farmers markets and things now that hopefully we can get out a little bit more this summer? Does anyone sell in person if you're selling your wares? I've not sold in person for a very long time. I don't know. I just don't seem to have the confidence to do that. Anytime someone comes up, it just makes me want to curl into a ball and be like, no, please don't hate my stuff. I've tried in the past. I did 2 teddy bear fairs, which were kind of fun, and I did a sort of fair in a church hall that went terribly. That was so bad. The teddy bear fairs were nice. Everybody was lovely, but nobody was spending money. I suppose that's a case of not really being in the right place. The people who made the teddy bears were aware of needle felting, because they now needle felt the noses on teddy bears where they used to be embroidered. So that was cool, and they knew about needle felting and everything, but the people that had come to the fair had come for teddy bears, and needle felting things aren't quite the right things. So, or maybe mine were just rubbish, but I didn't really sell anything. I'd lost money at both of them. So yes. Ginger has hair scrunchies, facial scrubbers, some bags and hats, and beach cover-ups too. Cool, that sounds really good. Especially is your wee town anywhere near the beach? That would be perfect too. But people are going away on holiday. It sounds like a good idea. I'm hopefully getting away to the beach or some version of it in a few weeks. So pray for good weather for me because it's in Scotland, so you just never know. And the crazy thing is, people laugh when, like I say, I'm in Scotland and I got sunburnt or whatever. But when we do get nice weather in summer, it's like sunny from 5, 6 in the morning till 10, 11 at night. So it actually does get quite warm and sunny. It's very strange. This leg is definitely a bit chunky, but I can like it's still got some give for felting in it. It's not what I wanted it to be. Um, Ginger, you can just do 2 days or all of them. The craft fairs don't want to do more than two, as I don't want to keep the inventory. Yeah, that is the difficult thing, especially if they're like all like in a similar time and you don't have time to replace. If it goes really well, it could be a problem, but you can't have too much of an inventory or you've just wasted money. So yeah, that's another thing that's really difficult, having too much stuff and you can't gauge how much is going to be needed. Yeah. I know my mum knits. My mum does lots of things, but she does knitwear, and we've done a few fairs helping her out, and I know the work she put in before them. Like, it's not just hours and hours, it's weeks and weeks worth of work. And then sometimes you'll go and sell absolutely nothing, and other times, some of them we did, it was just there was no like working at selling or anything. You just took the money off people and gave them their item. That was it. It was so crazy. But you just don't know if it's going to be like that or not. Ginger, 9 months of winter tempts folks to get away to the beach. Oh, absolutely. Yes, I think you definitely appreciate it more. I wonder what it would be like to live in a beautiful place on the beach. Would you appreciate it the same as like when you've had 9 months of winter and then it just you really do notice the good weather happening. Ginger gifts a lot. Hey, that's a good point though. Yeah, anything you make, if it doesn't sell, you can always give it as gifts. Oh, Bridget, of course, yes, you're going into the winter. You're looking forward to some cold. Yes, I don't hate the winter. Just unfortunately, it tends to be quite dark and Scottish word teaching of the day. I basically dreich. That can be really dreich here, which is just dark and damp and wet and lichy. Yes, we have Scottish words for bleh. So there we go. Taught you a Scottish word, dreich. But yeah, I love winter when it's cold and it's bright and it's sunny, but I'm not such a fan when it's dreich. It's just not fun. Oh, Ginger, I didn't know that. You lived in Hawaii for 8 years. Believe it or not, it can get boring. I would like the chance to find out, to wake up and go, oh, it's sunny again. How rubbish. What I think would be cool is that you can plan for things. What we get here is, you've got a couple of days nice. You think, right, everyone come round for a barbecue. Let's do things. Let's plan for doing something outside, and then you realise that yes, God's laugh while humans plan. So very much very much. You think it's sunny just now, so it'll be lovely at the weekend. So invite all your friends round, and suddenly it's winter again. Um, Ginger, you have the dreich weather right now. I'm sorry to hear that. It is absolutely lovely here. Right, my curtains are closed so I can keep the level of light down to a sensible amount. Right, I've still got a lot more to do on those legs, but I want to bulk up his shoulders a little bit because, yeah, he is looking a bit daft just now. Ginger, you barbecue at -20 Fahrenheit, which I can't remember what that is in real money. But yeah, that is crazy. Did When I was growing up, we did have a neighbor, Dave Holbrook, um, who we always used to laugh, like whenever he would decide to have a barbecue, no matter what the weather could be, like beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, he'd light the barbecue and it would immediately start to rain. So basically, Dave always had a barbecue in the garage. Um, so yes, it has been known, but I don't think many people barbecue here in the winter, in the negative temperatures. Rose, you barbecue in the snow. I can see. I suppose we just don't have the kind of outdoor culture in the winter quite so much. Because it's dreaching horrible. I suppose, yeah, if it was nice and sunny but cold and frosty, that could be quite nice. The only ones is Bonfire Night, which is the 5th of November here, where we celebrate someone being scapegoated for trying to blow up Parliament. But the town where I grew up in, we had a big medieval castle, real one, not a reenactment thing. We had a big castle, and on the field behind it, that was where we went for the fireworks, and there would be like a roast pork and chestnuts roasting in the fire and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I suppose we did like roasting like on big fires and stuff, but not so much barbecues. Ginger, in Seattle, you must have an umbrella for barbecuing. Fair enough. Yes, Seattle doesn't quite have the beautiful weather. We've been not Hawaii anyway. Oh, there, the shapes are starting to look a little bit better. You can see I've still got ages of felting to go because he's still so dimply. That's because he's not very firmly felted. You could, if you're new to felting, you could kind of stop at this level of feltedness, but the more you felt it, the smoother it becomes, and I think it just looks so much better. Oh wow, Rose, your husband grilled Christmas dinner in a snowstorm. Wow. Yeah, that sounds cool. Um, Bridget, yeah, we call it Guy Fawkes Night here as well. Yeah, blow stuff up with crackers and bonfires. Yes, Guy Fawkes was the English guy that tried to blow up Parliament. Yeah, I'm not sure where else in the world celebrates that, but I think any excuse to kind of blow things up a bit. Although since the past 15 years while I've had pets, it's not quite so much fun. I do love fireworks, but yeah, animals don't love it so much, which is a shame because it is fun. So yeah, I've not been able to enjoy fireworks for quite a while. Now his legs are a little bit too long and his neck's too short. But I'll work on it. It'll be fine. I'll work on it. Because if you're new, if you want to shorten something, well, the legs, you can just kind of push them out slightly. That shortens them a bit. But also, where's the wire? The wire's still down a bit, so I can felt up into it, and that'll kind of shorten the legs slightly as well. But yeah, the legs won't be too long. It'll be absolutely fine. And I can increase the impression of his neck a little bit by just felting into his shoulders to push them back and down a little bit. Bridget's asking, were the in-laws over for Christmas too? Where you had to grill Christmas dinner in a snowstorm. I've had to, not Christmas dinner, New Year dinner, which is a thing we do. I've had to grill that for years. A load of us went away for New Year, just like rented out a like big house or something, random places in the country, because there's tradition in Scotland to get together and do stuff for New Year. But it was always a bit of a nightmare trying to get everyone together and then try and get taxis to get home, and it kind of spoiled it a bit. So we figured just going away together and renting a big place and then all spending the night together, cooking together, having a few days away was a cool thing. But it really was out in the country quite a lot of the time. And I know one of the years that the ovens weren't working at all. So we had to try and make steak pie and roast potatoes and all the things, just cooking with a grill. And I think we had a microwave. Yeah, we were across two different houses that we'd rented at that point, and we carried one of the microwaves down to the other house to make sure that we had enough things to be able to cook with. Yeah, that was fun. And then another time, absolutely blizzardy snowstorm on Hogmanay the night before New Year. So we decided we had to try and cook everything all at once so that at least it would be cooked in case the power went out. But yeah, it was all fine. We cooked it that night, and then the owner came down later on and said, "Oh wow, it was such a wild night. I was even thinking of putting the generator on." I'm like, "Oh right, so we weren't going to lose power." Yeah, Ginger, 4th of July is a similar kind of thing. I suppose the biggest, well, different reasoning for it, but with the 4th of July, because that's like in your middle of summer. But because our 5th of November Bonfire Night is in winter, the nights get darker much earlier. So the bonfire, so it goes on for quite a while. Yeah, but it's awful for pets. Close the windows, turn the AC on to keep them cool. Of course, yeah, close the windows. It's in your summer. Turn the TV loud. They still got sick. I know. It's not even just the noise, they can feel it as well. It's really difficult, and it's not something you can sort of get them used to because it's so random and unpredictable. But yes, it's so sad, and it disturbs like humans as well. Babies don't necessarily understand it. The elderly, people who've been to war, it can't be very pleasant for them either. So yeah, although it is beautiful, it is, yeah, it's not good for people. And even I don't think I thought silent fireworks sounded great. I don't think they're quite as silent as they sound like they should be, which is a total shame, because silent fireworks sound like the best chance, and having a big bonfire is great fun too. I thought it was bad around here. You see, for the days before, the kids are nicking stuff and piling up big piles to get ready for their bonfires. But then I saw a documentary from over in Ireland, and they just go more to the extreme. The kids are like building things that need cranes to get up on top of. They make impressive bonfires. Um, yeah, Ginger, as a kid, even your dad's hunting dogs hated the 4th of July. Yeah, I mean, although they might be used to gunfire and stuff, it's totally different. Oh no, Bridget, you just had fireworks because the Grand Prix car race looked to the street and saw a dog running down the alley. I hope it got home. Oh no, yeah, I had one of my friend's dogs did a runner one time at the fireworks, but thankfully they found him. He'd gone to visit another friend and was cowering at their door. Ginger, yeah, all the cats would disappear. Oh, yeah, all my friends that have cats, they definitely try and make sure the cats are in at this time and keep them in. Yeah, Bridget's saying lock the house up and keep them in. I think. Don't know what that's saying yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this Foxy is going to take a good three sessions to get. It's funny, this is one of the smallest sculptures we've done in a while, and it's definitely going to take three. I think it's just because I want him to not look terrible. I really want to do justice to one of the kits. Yeah, Bridget, lock the dogs inside. I do too. Try and give them a big. I'm down to one dog. Try and give her a big long walk during the day. But one year, even during the day, they were going off, and I lost her. She disappeared, and we were in fields in the middle of nowhere, and I couldn't find her. And then finally, I got a phone call on my mobile, and some guy had found her. So I figured out where he was. We met up. That was all fine. And he's like, yeah, she's in a crate in the back of the car with my dog. I'm like, she's a what? You just took a strange dog and put it in the back of your car. People that are just used to well-behaved dogs. And not only that, his dog in the crate in the back of the car had a bowl of food there as well. And Mia, my girl, is quite food possessive and everything, but she was just sitting, both dogs were just sitting there totally still, nobody talk about this ever again. This didn't happen. It was hilarious, but I was so happy that the guy had found her, but just kind of you don't just take a strange dog and put it in the crate with your dog with a load of food and not expect Thunderdome to happen in there. Oh no, you can hear the stunt planes and everything from the Grand Prix. So it's really close to you. Wow. I've not. I used to when I was a kid. I kept up with all the racing and everything. I knew all the Grand Prix. Now I don't. I don't think I could even tell you any of them or who won or who's who's excited to win. Yes, I don't know who any of them are. Yeah, Ginger sounds too noisy. I completely agree. It does. He's getting better, right, guys? What do you think needs done to him? I definitely am going to smooth him out, but are the legs all right? Do we need bigger paws, smaller paws, more hips, more shoulders? Let me know. Help me make this. Help me make this fox. Is he too skinny, too fat? What do we need to work on? You can let me know because you can see the proportions. This is strange. Strange enough is you can actually see the proportions better than me because the camera's got a better angle than I've got. This is really weird. Oh, the whining of the cars, not the cats. I was trying to figure out the whining of the cats. Are you hearing the scared cats in the street? That makes more the whining of the cars. Yeah, so you are really close if you can hear the cars. Wow. I would have a look. That sounds cool to see them that close. I had friends who used to go to the races. Bram's Hatch, one of the ones in the UK. I can't remember, but they used to go make a day of it, when the weather was nice. Ginger, I used to watch in the days of here we go. Fittipaldi and Nicky Lauda. When was that? I don't. So, are you showing your age or am I showing mine? I don't know them. I don't think I know them. Yeah, let me know. Let me know the dates and let me know who your Grand Prix people were. I think it's for everyone who's in the UK or with UK culture, we always talk about you everybody who watches Doctor Who has a doctor. It's usually the one that you grew up with as a child or David Tennant. So you'll have a doctor. So who's your Grand Prix stars? Because I guess, yeah, I suppose maybe be like when you first started watching it and really paid attention and stuff, or anything like that. But yes, you have your you have your stars of that as well. And who's your doctor? If anyone knows what I'm talking about with Doctor Who, sadly, well, mine's David Tennant, first of all, first and foremost. Um, but I have not watched Doctor Who. It was David Tennant, and then the guy that's going to be in the new Game of Thrones thingy. I can see his face. I can't remember who he is. I watched a little bit of that, but it annoyed me. And then it was Capaldi, which I didn't watch at all. And now it's the lady that I haven't, because I'd already given up. Oh, Ginger, it's 60s and 70s. I wasn't sure. I was like, am I recognizing them? Am I just saying them wrong? 60s and 70s, fair enough. Yeah. So everybody out, yeah. How to judge people's age by who your Grand Prix stars are. Well, I suppose mine doesn't sound so bad because it's they're around for so long. Because with the Formula One, that would be Schumacher, Nigel Mansell. There we go. I'm showing my age. Um, oh, thanks, Mum. Nicky Lauda had a very bad crash back in the late 70s. That'll probably explain why I don't remember. But the name vaguely rings a bell. Ginger was Tennant. Tennant was the Doctor for you as well. I didn't get Doctor until him. Watched a lot of the vintage shows. Yeah, before him, because there was a big break for it. This it's just a TV show in the UK. There was a big break. I think it was definitely in the 70s and 80s. Not sure if it was in the 60s. It went back as far as that, but there was Doctor Who, and then it stopped for an age, and then it came back with Christopher Eccleston, and it was really good. So before that, everyone had a doctor, but that was from like the 70s and the 80s. Which doctor? And then suddenly the new ones. Christopher Eccleston was very good, but David Tennant was awesome. But the vintage stuff is cool as well. They just had no budget, so it's hilarious. Like, if you've watched it for any length of time, you know you can save the world from any kind of alien invasion just by building stairs, because Daleks couldn't go upstairs until they started to levitate, and then they totally could. Ginger has a Dalek t-shirt. Brilliant. Oh, right, guys. No time to even get onto his ears, but let me know what I need to what he needs. Does his feet need to be, his legs need to be shorter, his bulked up, thinned down? Let me know what I need to work on, and we will finish up in a couple of minutes. Time goes fast when you're talking about Doctor Who and Formula One. And Ginger, I want to see your Dalek t-shirt. I don't know if anyone got it, but there was a dress going about for a while. There's a Dalek dress. It was like a kind of 50s style type dress, but in the blue with the paneling and stuff. It was not a Dalek, a TARDIS dress. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm an idiot. It was a TARDIS dress. Mm-hmm. Dalek dress would be cool as well. Oh yeah, the Doctor Who bad guys, Bridget's favourite Doctor Who creep is the Weeping Angels. Yeah, they were terrifying. I think, right, I don't know if anyone will remember this, because anytime I say it to people, and I can't remember what it was, I think it was a TV show and it was definitely a book. But when I was a kid, there was a show or a book or both that terrified me. I had like nightmares about it, and then the Weeping Angels just seemed really similar to that. And it was a kid that I think he was like sick or paralyzed or something, and he was in a bedroom in a house by the beach. But every time when he woke up or when he went to sleep, there was these big rocks outside, and every time when he would when he would go back to wherever it was, they would have moved and they were getting closer. And it's just like the Weeping Angels, apart from the Weeping Angels were like even worse because they were stone angels, but these were just like big stone rocks that just randomly got closer and closer. And I remember nothing else about it. Bridget, yes, I think you're quite right. He needs a bigger chest. Let's add the little bit in just now, else I will forget. So wrap a little bit more chest, keep him with a skinnier tummy. That'll felt down and smooth out, but yes, better. I've added just at the front between his legs and a little bit on the front of his chest. I think I haven't looked ahead to see if the makers do it this way or not, but my foxies all have a white ruff, like down under the chin and down onto the chest as well. But yeah, guys, now I'm seeing in my head, every time I blink, I'm seeing Weeping Angels. They were definitely creepy. Right, guys. Okay, so we've added some more chest. We'll smooth that out and firm that up next week. But yeah, I think I will leave you to it. We have got what have we got? We've got ears to go next week. Eyes. Did I put the eyes down and lose them? Probably. Oh, and it is going to be white. Oh yes, and there's whiskers, which I'm totally not going to manage with. But anyway, yeah. So that's what we've got for next week. Ears and fine details and just smoothing him out. So, as ever, I hope you guys have an awesome week. And yeah, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me, and